Brand loyalty is very important to some people. And in this video, I'll talk about one brand that is a great option for cheap and inexpensive fragrances when you're starting your fragrance collection, or if you're just looking into getting into one house. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody? My name is Joshua, and this channel is your channel, ScentSense. To the loyal Patreons, compadres, friends of the family, for you people who stick around, means the world. And to all you new people who are maybe checking out the channel for the very first time and you haven't decided what you want to do, this isn't Sam's Club or Costco. No membership fee needed. It's free. Yeah, for real. It really is. It's free. Before we jump into this, do consider subscribing. Do consider leaving a comment on what fragrance brand you think is the greatest for cheap, inexpensive, introductory fragrances. Leave that comment below, and while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell. That way when my videos come out, you'll know about it. And if you've liked the video, at the end of the video, go ahead and like it too. Moving right along, as I said, I'm going to discuss one brand and one brand only. Every single fragrance from this brand that I'm going to discuss will meet a criteria. It'll meet a niche, if you will, of things that it needs to be used for. These fragrances will definitely work for you in a lot of different occasions, and they'll all come from one brand. And on top of all of that, they'll be cheap. Now, when I say cheap, I don't mean go to Dillard's, go to JCPenney's, go to Ulta, Sephora, and grab it at full MSRP cheap. No, I mean go to FragranceNet.com, go to Max Aroma, go to Fragrance Buy, go to eBay, Amazon, any other website, but directly from a retail store. You can get these fragrances for dirt cheap for what they are. With no further need to talk about it, the fragrance brand that I will be discussing is none other than my favorite fragrance brand of all time, Versace. I won't be discussing in detail my favorite fragrance of all time, which is Versace Pour Homme, mainly because I've discussed it ad nauseum, and there's another younger brother that's come out that kind of hits the mark of all-around versatile fragrance a little bit better for today's day and age, so Dylan Blue will take its spot for now. Moving right into it, we just mentioned it, let's continue to talk about it. The fragrance that I would be using for all-around purpose, daily driver, easy to wear, mass appealing, if I only owned one fragrance would be Versace's Dylan Blue. Like the name says, Dylan Blue, this is a blue fragrance. This is a daily driver, fresh, shower gel, and Ambroxan-filled fragrance. Think Bleu de Chanel, Prada Luna Rosa Carbon, Dior Sauvage, all of those fragrances that have that same new style vibe. This is going to be the one you grab when you have no idea what to wear. You're thinking it might be cool in the morning, warm at lunch, cool at night. You might be going on a date. You might have an office meeting. You're not sure what's going to happen. This will cover it all. So for my all-around scent, Dylan Blue by Versace. When it comes to going out to the club, going out to a party, being out with a lot of people and wanting to get noticed, maybe even at a bar, the fragrance that is the easiest to reach for when it comes to that, from Versace, none other than the club monster himself, Eros. Eros is a minty, loud, hey everybody, I'm here kind of fragrance. A lot of girls love this thing, man, and a lot of people in the fragrance community hate it. They think it's cloying, a synthetic mess. But at the end of the day, we don't wear it for you. We wear it for them. And there's a lot of guys out there that are into guys, and a lot of girls that are into guys that definitely think this stuff is super sexy. So if you're looking for something that's going to work for you in an environment where a sea of people are wearing something else, and you want to stand out, and you want to gain attention, and you want to overpower them, if you will, easy reach. Versace's Eros. Next up is a fragrance that will definitely fit the bill for summertime classic. This fragrance will work for you in the months of summer, easily, without a doubt, a recognizable fragrance. A lot of people like it. From Versace, Man Eau Fraîche. This bottle, I got a long time ago. This was actually when I first got into fragrances. It's a tester bottle. I don't know if you can see all that information on the back here. I don't have a cap. This one right here, I love because it projects and it works really well like the older batches did. I don't know how the newer batches perform, but I would assume not nearly as good as this one. This is a super citrusy, fresh, slightly woody summertime masterpiece. If it's summertime and you need a quick, easy grab, something that you can wear all summer long and smell fantastic no matter what, without a doubt, Versace's Man Eau Fraiche. Next up is my smooth date night fragrance. That's right, this is get ready to get her to be a freak in the sheets, get ready to take her to a nice restaurant. This is sit down at candlelight. This is I'm smooth, I'm cool, check me out. From the House of Versace for my date night fragrance, that is Oud Noir. Oud Noir is a cheaper alternative to Tom Ford's Oud Wood. And in my opinion, Tom Ford's Oud Wood is definitively one of the best sexy date night fragrances out there. It was suggested to me by a friend. She said, this will drive your wife and any woman wild. You should try it. And I have to say, Oud Wood gets the job done. This is a cheaper, less expensive alternative to that. Yes, it starts off kind of synthetic and screechy, but it dries down into what's really, really close to Tom Ford's Oud Wood. So if you need that date night fragrance that comes from the House of Versace, the first one I would reach for is Oud Noir. Last but not least is that masculine fragrance, that classic fragrance, that fragrance that more mature men could wear. Let's face it, we all have an uncle, a dad, we're growing to be dads, we're growing to be older dads, and some of us need a fragrance like that makes us feel more mature, something we might wear to a wedding, to a church service, to an important meeting with older people, something that makes you smell masculine and yet sophisticated. And this one was the original fragrance from the Man line. There's only been 2 fragrances from it, but alas, this one's been discontinued and I don't know why. But you can still find it online and it's still fantastic. From the House of Versace, Versace Man. This is a classic yet modern take on masculinity. This does not smell anything like Versace Man Eau Fraiche, but this one is without a doubt the best version of something that I would suggest to a man over the age of 35, something that somebody needs that's gonna make them feel like a full-grown man, and is definitely more masculine than not masculine, more classic than not classic. But this still has a modern take, so it won't feel super dated. So someone who's older will smell unique and still have that classic vibe, but will smell a little cooler, a little newer. So for that masculine and classic fragrance vibe, I would tell people to reach for Versace's Man. So there you have it, 5 fragrances that you would need for 5 different occasions. And I know I didn't mention seasons, but I would have to say that Oud Noir and Versace Man would work in fall and winter. I know that Versace Man Eau Fraiche and Dylan Blue would work in summer and springtime. And without a doubt, Versace Eros would also work in colder months. This is something that will project like a monster. So you've got all the seasons covered, all the occasions covered under one house for a cheaper price than the average fragrance. I think this is a cool idea, so I'm gonna go ahead and tag some people. I hope they kind of do the same thing. So people out there that I'm tagging, what I'd like you to do is pick one house, a house that has cheap introductory fragrances that covers all of the criteria that I did. You know, a date night fragrance, all day, every day, anytime fragrance, a summertime fragrance, a date night fragrance, a masculine fragrance. Pick one house that does all of these things, list some fragrances, but they gotta be cheap because we wanna make people who are looking for something where they can just pick it up all at once can afford to do so. So the people I'm gonna tag are gonna be a few people because you know what, the more the merrier. First and foremost, I'm gonna tag Ashton over at the channel Gents. This man has a very large collection. I'm sure Versace would have been a choice of his, but I'm sure he's gonna have a different one. So Ashton, I'm waiting. I'd also like to tag Cameron over at the channel CFR, Carolina Fragrance Reviews. If you've been living under a rock and haven't checked out his channel, please do so, because this dude deserves much more of a following than he has. Not that he has a small following, but he deserves twice as much of the people following that currently follow him now. So Cam, I challenge you, one brand to rule them all, cheap, inexpensive fragrances, cover the criteria. You're up. Without a doubt, another person I have to challenge is a follically challenged man, much like myself, who is super into cheap fragrances, and he'll probably choose a car company, but we'll leave it at that. I challenge you, Chadsky at the Gentleman Journey. Let's hear what you have to pick when it comes to these options. Gotta challenge a youngin', a guy who just finally got old enough to, walk into a bar and not get shown out the door. He'll have to be carded because clearly he still looks like a small child. Just joking. I'll go ahead and tag Dallas over at Chaos Fragrances. Dallas, one brand, different criteria, cheap price. Let's hear what you got. Last but not least, I'm gonna tag somebody that I've never tagged before. He has a very large and extensive collection, a large and extensive knowledge of fragrances, and I would assume he could probably think of a few. So, without a doubt, I'm gonna tag you, Steven, at the channel REDOLESSENCE. I would love to hear which brand you're gonna choose. All right, everybody, that does it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you made it to this point of the video, that lets me know you liked the video. So go ahead and like the video, and while you're at it, clicking away, click the subscription button, click the notification button, and leave a nice little comment below. Let me know what fragrance brand you would suggest. Let me know if you own the fragrances that I listed from this brand, and what's your favorite brand of all time. And as always, and most importantly, I'll smell each and every one of you later. Peace.